was on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week with the headline, The Kingmaker. Rich is, of course, the head of Clutch Sports, also the agent for LeBron, AD, and others. In the article, Rich talks about what makes the Lakers and Knicks desirable destinations, and he denied reports he was involved in the Lakers coaching search. Interesting article. Shannon, what was your reaction to this article?
Hey, Rich, you need to make sure I get me a signed copy of that cover. That's what you need to do, Rich.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Hey, Skip, how you doing?
You just declared yourself.
Skip, look, Rich spoke some truth in this article that I feel that he does get held. He get held to a higher standard. He get judged by a different bar than everybody else. And it's because of his relationship with LeBron James. And as he mentioned, Skip, people don't realize David Falk, now his most famous client is Michael Jordan, but he represented over 100 players. He was the central figure behind the lockouts in 1995 and 1998. He, along with Arm Tellem in 98, fought to decertify the union, to break it up. Nobody said a word. Now Rich Paul has a handful of clients. I think he has 28. Now he's a mover and a shaker. Skip, how long has Scott Boras been running professional baseball? Tom Condon, NFL football. But what we see now, we see a young black man. All of a sudden, he has a little power, and everybody is losing it. Skip. Now, remember, David Falk was Danny Ferry's agent. He didn't want to go to the Clippers, Skip. What did tell the people at home what Danny Ferry did when he didn't want to play with the Clippers, and his agent was David Falk? Can you tell the people at home what he did?
You can. Go ahead.
Oh, he went overseas. He said, I refuse to play for the Clippers, and he went overseas.
Yep.
His agent at the time was David Falk.
It was.
Now, Anthony Davis signs with Rich Paul in the summer. And what do Alvin Gentry and Dale Demps do? Try to dissuade him not to sign with him. Go somewhere else. He's a bad apple. Where they do that at? Have they ever done that with a client that had a white agent? Said, nah, you shouldn't sign with him. He's a bad deal. Don't do that. The man worked his butt off. Yes, LeBron James has done a great service for some young black men that he trusts. He put them in position. But they've done the groundwork. They've done the legwork. He built this. This is his company. And I get upset, too, when people say, oh, it's LeBron's. No, it's not. This is Rich Paul. LeBron has his thing. These guys are on their own. Rich Paul is what he can do for Eric Bledsoe, what he did for John Wall. Yes. What he did last year, LeBron James, he wanted to go to the Lakers. Rich Paul helped negotiate that. Now, his number one priority is Anthony Davis. Anthony, what do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, Skip, the agent is the mouthpiece for the player. Rich Paul is not doing anything that Anthony Davis does not want him to do. This was a great article, and it just goes to show you, as Draymond said yesterday, you don't got to play sports anymore to get on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I want my shot at it, too.
Yeah, but you played sports. So.
No, come on, I don't play now.
So the point here is that would Rich Paul even be an agent without LeBron James if he hadn't had that fateful meeting in the airport when LeBron was, what, like 17 years of age? You have to put Scott Boras and all the other agents in perspective. That they did make themselves agents. They went to school and they came up the ladder as agents and they got established without a LeBron in their lives, right? Again, David Falk.
But it took that one client. Because remember how Lee Steinberg got started. He and Steve Bartkowski, if I'm not mistaken, were roommates or were college friends. Steve Bartkowski was the number one pick.
They lived on the same dorm floor. Lee was an advisor on the dorm floor. He was older than Bart. And Bart needed somebody to clean up his first contract, so that got Lee off to the races. You saw right in the middle of all that. But the point is, in this case, of all the people in LeBron's inner circle, and I have huge respect for Maverick Carter. He is a dynamo. He has brilliant vision, and he has served LeBron beautifully in the marketing, entertainment sides of LeBron's portfolio. He has been gold
Correct.
for LeBron, and I have nothing but respect.
Right.
And I know Randy Mims doesn't get a lot of public credit, but off camera,
But he runs everything.
he does everything, and he takes care of all the most minor details. He is the glue
Yes.
of that whole operation, and he is
Yes.
a pro's pro. And yet here we
Yes.
have little Richie Paul, and I got to tell you, every once in a while he goes loose cannon on this group, and I'm not sure LeBron always loves the fact that little Richie gets a little full of himself. And even the headline on this, I don't know that LeBron is going to love this. The Kingmaker. Well, I think the king made himself. That's just me. I don't know. It comes across like Rich Paul helped make LeBron. No. It's the other way around. Am I right? And yet, go ahead.
No, I don't, Skip. We and I both know LeBron James was LeBron James. It just goes to show you is that what LeBron did for Richie, what he did for Randy, what he did for Maverick, is that he put him in position. He's like, guys, I'm going to put you in position.
All right.
What you do from here is on you.
Okay, but do you think LeBron is loving the first line of this story? The most polarizing figure in the NBA is not an owner, player, exec, or even LeBron James. It's Rich Paul. Does LeBron love that? Because I don't think so.
Loves it.
I just don't think so.
I love it.
And some of the quotes are just, I can't even figure out the J-Lo quote. You know, he's comparing the Lakers to J-Lo. Who wouldn't want to date or marry J-Lo? Okay, I get that.
Who wouldn't?
But that's the other side of his mouth, because out of one side of his mouth, he's saying, don't blame me for this. I didn't have anything to do with connecting AD to the Lakers. Well, you facilitated it, and then you tried to strong-arm it, right?
No, hold on, Skip. Hold on. Anthony Davis wanted to get to the Lakers. Anthony Davis wanted out of New Orleans. He went to Dale Demps and said, Dale, we're not going to re-sign. Try to make something happen. Dale Demps, instead of going to a management and says, well, Anthony's agent told us he's not going to resign in the summer. We need to think about moving. What did he do? He goes and tells Anthony Davis he needs to get rid of Rich Paul.
Okay. All right. But a lot of people don't like Rich. A lot of people think he gums up the works more than he smooths them out. So, again, some of these quotes indicate...
Richie Paul...
Yeah, go ahead.
Rich Paul's job is not to smooth out any organization. Rich Paul's job is to be the best advisor representation for his clients. So that's what he does.
Okay. So is it possible he's going a little loose cannon in that he's playing a little bit out of bounds and that LeBron's going to have to rein him back in just a little bit? Maybe.
For what? Hold on. First of all, Skip, LeBron James is a client. Mm-hmm. How you going to rein an agent in?
LeBron.
This has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with LeBron. LeBron has his contract. As Rich said in the article, my number one priority right now is Anthony Davis. Skip, there are going to be times due to the fact that he's building up his clientele, you're going to have some overlap. You're going to have some players that come up at the same time that are very good players. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to work equally as hard, equally as diligent for those guys. But right now, the number one priority is Anthony Davis.
Mm. Okay. Well, we'll see how it turns out, and we'll see if, in the end, if he can pull this deal off, then I'll be impressed. But so far, he's done more damage than good here.
He's going to pull it off. Look at John Wall's contract. Look at Eric Bledsoe.
Mm.
I've got another agent issue for you to chew on in just a second. Kyrie Irving, is he now a lock to go to Brooklyn?
Uh-huh.
We'll discuss that and his agent.